Welcome back to this Lenten devotional series based on Mark's Gospel. For day 44, we'll read Mark 15, 25 to 32. It was 9 o'clock in the morning when they crucified him. The inscription of the charge against him read, "The King of the Jews." And with him they crucified two robbers, one at his right and one at his left. Those who passed by derided him, shaking their heads and saying, "Aha! You who would destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself and come down from the cross." So also the chief priests and the scribes mocked him among themselves, saying, "He saved others, he cannot save himself. Let the Messiah, the King of Israel, come down from the cross now, so that we may see and believe." Those who were crucified with him also taunted him. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So many artists have depicted Jesus' cross that our imaginations are shaped by their visions as we read in Mark. So today, let's imagine the crucifixion differently. Instead of looking at Jesus on the cross, imagine what he saw that day. Picture it. Just to his right and left, he saw two men crucified with him. Look at them. These men had chosen violent ways and had hurt many people. Maybe they had tragic childhoods. If so, then the victims had become victimizers. But now, on their crosses, they were victims again. A few feet farther, Jesus could see the soldiers who had drawn the crucifixion duty that day. These were hard men. They could drive nails through flesh without flinching. They had seen many die and had killed many. Both their armor and their faces were hard, and you couldn't tell whether they ever felt either joy or pain. At the edge of the hill, Jesus could see the religious leaders, circling like hyenas, yapping, but still afraid to get too close. They licked their lips as if for a feast. They had known all along that they were right and Jesus was wrong, and now proof was right there before them. Jesus could see their dark satisfaction. Down on the road, Jesus could see passers-by, totally oblivious to the drama playing out right before their eyes. Many were on their way to Jerusalem to see the temple or some great sight, but ironically, they were oblivious to the most important event in history right there before them. In the next verses, we find that women were there too. Jesus could see them at the edge of the crowds. Other than his disciple John, these women were the only ones of Jesus' friends who had the courage to come to Golgotha, and even they operated under a cover of obscurity that cloaked women in those days. And with Jesus, look one more time. This time, strain your eyes to find what Jesus couldn't find either: his own disciples. Peter, Andrew, James, or Matthew, except for John, they were conspicuous in their absence. If the pain of crucifixion made Jesus forget for a moment why the cross was at the center of God's plan, all he had to do was look at the humanity spread out there before him. Many churches have a cross centered in their sanctuaries. What do you suppose Jesus sees from that cross? Pretty much the same thing he saw on his crucifixion day. Only now he'd see you and me in this world of hurt and harm. And thanks to what he did at the cross, he'd see us as no longer subject to the destructive consequences of our lives and this broken world. From the cross, he looks to you now. Look to him. Let your eye meet his. This one who was ready to die so that you might truly live. Here are a couple of questions to ponder as you look back over these verses. Many churches have crosses front and center. Why? Is it fitting? What would it mean to have the cross front and center in your life? Jesus saw his enemies from the cross. How do you see your enemies? And how might your vision of them be changed by seeing them with Jesus from the cross? God bless you.